Why masculine men stay calm under pressure. Have you ever noticed that the strongest men in the room are often the quietest? When everyone else is panicking, they're thinking. When everyone else is shouting, they're listening. When everyone else is reacting, they're responding. Many people mistake calmness for weakness, but real masculinity has never been about losing control. It's been about keeping it. The truth is, pressure doesn't create your character. It reveals it. Anyone can seem confident when life is easy. Anyone can appear strong when everything is going their way. But what happens when you're criticized? When plans fall apart? When someone disrespects you? When life doesn't go as expected? That's where true strength becomes visible. Women notice it. Friends respect it. Leaders develop it. And emotionally intelligent men protect it. Today, we're going to explore why masculine men stay calm under pressure, what psychology teaches us about emotional control, and why your ability to remain composed may be one of the most attractive and respected qualities you can develop. Let's begin. Number 1. They understand that panic never solves problems. Imagine two men facing the exact same challenge. One immediately becomes angry, complains, blames other people, makes impulsive decisions. The other pauses, looks at the situation, thinks clearly, then decides what to do next. Which one would you trust? Pressure already creates enough problems. Adding panic usually creates more. Masculine men understand that emotions contain information, but they shouldn't always make the decisions. Feeling fear is normal. Feeling frustration is normal. But allowing those emotions to completely control your actions often leads to regret. Calmness creates clarity, and clarity creates better decisions. Number 2. They don't take every challenge personally. One reason many people lose control under pressure is because they interpret every difficult situation as a personal attack. A disagreement becomes disrespect. Constructive criticism becomes rejection. A delayed reply becomes abandonment. Emotionally mature men slow that process down. Instead of immediately assuming the worst, they ask themselves, what else could explain this situation? That simple question changes everything. It reduces unnecessary conflict. It prevents emotional overreactions, and it allows them to respond to reality, instead of reacting to assumptions. Number 3. They know that people are watching their response, whether you realize it or not. People learn who you are by watching how you behave during difficult moments. Anyone can appear confident when everything is comfortable. Pressure is different. Pressure reveals patience, discipline, leadership, self-control. Women often pay attention to this during relationships, not because they're waiting for perfection, but because they're learning whether you remain dependable when life becomes difficult. Your response under pressure often creates more attraction than your words ever will, because actions always carry more weight than promises. Number 4. They control their emotions instead of suppressing them. There's an important difference. Suppressing emotions means pretending they don't exist. Controlling emotions means acknowledging them, without allowing them to take over. Masculine men still feel disappointment, stress, fear, frustration. They're human. The difference is that they don't allow temporary emotions to create permanent consequences. Instead of reacting immediately, they pause, think, then act intentionally. That's not emotional coldness. It's emotional discipline. And discipline is one of the strongest forms of confidence. So far, we've discovered that masculine men don't panic under pressure. They avoid taking everything personally. They understand that difficult moments reveal character, and they practice emotional control instead of emotional suppression. But the next lessons reveal what separates truly composed men from everyone else, because they know how to remain calm when others lose control, how to earn respect without raising their voice, and why emotional stability is one of the strongest signals of genuine masculinity. Number 5. They don't let other people control their emotions. One of the greatest forms of strength is refusing to hand someone else control over your emotional state. Think about it. If one rude comment completely changes your mood, if one disagreement ruins your entire day, If one insult causes you to lose your self-control, who is really in control? Many people believe strength is making other people react. Masculine men see it differently. They understand that real power is staying grounded regardless of what someone else says or does. That doesn't mean accepting disrespect. It means choosing your response instead of surrendering it. Because once another person can easily control your emotions, they've gained more influence over you than they should have. Number 6. They speak less when emotions are high. Have you ever noticed that people often regret the words they say in anger? Very few people regret the words they chose not to say. Emotionally disciplined men understand this. When emotions are running high, they slow down. They don't rush to defend themselves. They don't interrupt. They don't try to win with louder arguments. Instead, they allow silence to work for them. That silence isn't weakness. It's wisdom. Because time has a remarkable way of reducing emotional intensity. And once emotions settle, better conversations become possible. Number 7. They focus on solutions, not drama. Some people spend hours talking about the problem, repeating it, complaining about it, blaming everyone involved. Masculine men ask a different question. What's the next right step? That mindset shifts attention away from emotion and toward action, whether it's a disagreement in a relationship, a challenge at work, or a setback in life. They understand that energy spent solving problems is almost always more valuable than energy spent feeding frustration. That's one reason calm men often become natural leaders. People trust those who move situations forward, not those who make them more chaotic. Number 8. They accept that they can't control everything. One of the biggest causes of stress is trying to control things that were never yours to control. You can't control another person's feelings. You can't control every outcome. You can't control every opinion people have about you. But you can control your attitude, your effort, your choices, your character. Masculine men invest their energy where it actually makes a difference. Instead of fighting reality, they adapt to it. Ironically, that acceptance often gives them more peace than trying to force life to go exactly as planned. A quality women quietly notice. Many women pay close attention to how a man behaves when life becomes difficult. Does he stay respectful? Does he become emotionally unpredictable? Does he handle pressure without taking it out on everyone around him? These moments reveal emotional maturity. Anyone can seem charming when life is easy. Pressure shows whether that confidence is genuine. That's why calmness often creates attraction. Not because it's dramatic, but because it's dependable. We've now seen why masculine men refuse to let others control their emotions. Why they speak less when emotions are high. Why they focus on solutions instead of drama. And why accepting what they can't control gives them greater peace. But the final lessons may be the most powerful, because they reveal why calmness builds lasting respect, why emotional discipline separates boys from men, and how staying composed under pressure changes every relationship you have. Number 9. They know strength isn't loud. Many people grow up believing that strength looks aggressive. Loud voices, intimidation, always having the last word, always proving who's in charge. But real strength rarely behaves that way. The strongest men often speak with confidence instead of volume. They don't need to dominate every conversation. They don't need to prove they're important. And they don't feel threatened every time someone disagrees with them. Why? Because their confidence comes from within, not from controlling other people. The calmer a man becomes, the less he feels the need to convince the world that he's strong. Number 10. They see pressure as a test, not a threat. Pressure changes depending on how you interpret it. Some people see every difficult moment as proof that life is against them. Masculine men often see it differently. They ask, what is this situation trying to teach me? Every setback becomes an opportunity to grow. Every challenge becomes a chance to build resilience. Every difficult conversation becomes a chance to practice emotional discipline. This mindset doesn't remove pressure. It transforms it. Instead of becoming victims of difficult moments, they become students of them. And that's one reason they continue growing while others remain stuck. Number 11. They protect their peace. One of the greatest signs of emotional maturity is knowing what deserves your energy. Not every insult deserves a response. Not every disagreement deserves an argument. Not every opinion deserves your attention. Masculine men choose their battles carefully. They understand that peace isn't something you find. It's something you protect. Sometimes protecting your peace means walking away. Sometimes it means remaining silent. Sometimes it means setting a boundary. And sometimes it simply means refusing to carry someone else's negativity home with you. That isn't avoidance. It's wisdom. Number 12. Their calmness inspires other people. Have you ever been around someone whose calmness made everyone else feel calmer? That's leadership. People naturally trust those who remain composed during uncertainty. Family members feel safer. Friends feel reassured. Partners feel more emotionally secure. Even strangers notice it. Calmness has a quiet influence. It communicates. Things may be difficult, but we'll get through this. That's one reason emotionally stable men are so respected. They become the steady presence others naturally rely on. The bigger lesson. This video isn't really about pretending you never feel stress. Masculine men feel pressure. They feel fear. They feel disappointment. They experience uncertainty just like everyone else. The difference is what happens next. They don't allow temporary emotions to become permanent decisions. They pause, think, then act according to their values. That's emotional discipline. And emotional discipline is one of the strongest forms of masculinity. Final message. If there's one thing to remember from this video, it's this. Anyone can stay calm when life is easy. The real test comes when life becomes difficult. That's when your character becomes visible. That's when people discover whether your confidence is genuine. That's when women notice whether you create emotional safety or emotional chaos. So don't aim to become a man who never experiences pressure. Become the man who remains grounded in the middle of it. Protect your peace. Control your emotions instead of letting them control you. Respond with wisdom instead of reacting with impulse. Because the strongest men aren't the ones who never face storms. They're the ones who remain steady while walking through them. And in dating, relationships, leadership, and life, that quiet strength is one of the most attractive and respected qualities a man can possess. Because calmness isn't weakness. It's strength under control. Click the subscribe button, like, share, and follow for more.